All right, grade 7, we are going to be working at factoring algebraic expressions. So the terms that we're going to be looking at are monomial, and polynomial. Mono means one, and poly means more than one. In this case, it would deal with two. So one algebraic, and the other one is two. So we're going to look at factoring them, and I'm just going to show you quite a simple example of factoring them. If I go 4a squared b, we break this down into the smallest units we can break it, which means that 4 is 2 times 2, and then we have a squared, which is a times a, and we have a b. That's how you would factor a monomial. We're going to grab those same ones and switch that 4a squared b to this. A3, B2, just to make it a little bit different. And now we're going to ask you to factor a polynomial. Factoring them out means that if you would actually factor the single ones, you'd have 2 times 2 times a times b plus 2 times 2 times 2 times a times a times a times b times b. Now, if you follow along, we can take away 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we can take away a total of 4. We can factor them outside. Now watch what I do with this. Now we're going to go grab the next ones. If we look at our a's, we can take away 1 out. We can take away 1 out. We can take away 1 out. And, I didn't do that one. So then we have a squared here. And I actually probably made this more difficult than it has to be. But if we go look at b, we can take 1b and 1b. So what we're left with essentially is 4a squared b times 1, because that's all left because we've divided them all out, plus what's left here, 2ab. Just to show you backwards how that would work, if I go 4a squared b times 1, we get 4a squared b. If I go 4a squared b times the 2, then you'd have 4 times the 2, which would be 8. a to the power of 2 plus a to the power of 1, we add our exponents, and we get to a to the power of 3. And here we have b to the power of 1, and b to the power of 1, we get b to the power of 2. And we're back to that same question that we had earlier. So I'm going to walk through your lesson practice with you, and we're going to factor these algebraic expressions. So 8 boils down to 2 times 2 times 2. M is m, and n can carry on its own. That one's factored out. B, same sort of thing. 12 is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 3. And then we have an m, and then we have an n, and an n. We have factored that out. 18 is 9 times 2, which is 3, times 3. Whoops. Let's just do this right. Let's actually put the 2 first. 2 times 3 times 3. Then we have x, 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 y, y. D, E, and F are slightly different because these are polynomials. So let's just factor them out so that individually so we can see what we have. We have 2 times 2 times 2, and then we have m, we have m, we have n, plus 2 times 2 times 3, m, n, and n. So you can count. We have 2 m's here, we have 1 m there. That means that we can pull at least 1 out, so the m's are out. What about our factors? We have 2 2's here, 2 2's there, so we can pull 4 out. That does 1 there. So we'll cross those out. All right, and our n's, we have 1 n here, and we have 2 n's there, so we can take away 1 n each. So 4mn. So what do we have left of this one? We have 2, and we have an m. So we put 2m here, plus, and now we have a 3 and an m n here, plus 3mn, and now we have factored it. E. I'm going to factor it easily, so we have a 2, a 2, a 2, an x, and a y, and a y. And here we have a 2, an x, and a y. So we cross off our 2's. So we have a total of 4 that we can put outside the bracket. And what about x's? We have 1 x in each one. So we can take our x's out, and we have 1 y that we can cross out here. Y there. So what do we have left when we have done this? Well, we have 2y, subtract, now you see everything's gone here, 1. And the last one is a trinomial. So I didn't talk about that, but a trinomial is 3. Well, let's try to do this without having to pull it all apart. If we go look at our lowest amounts, for a, the lowest amount we have is squared. So we can pull a squared out. The lowest factor that we have of these is 3. So we know we can pull 3 out. So when we pull, and then the b, the lowest that we have is squared. So we can pull b squared out. So when I pull 3 out of here, we're left with 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2. When I pull a out, it's all gone, and there's only one b left. Okay, and then this one here, we look at 9 divided by 3 is 3. We're taking an a squared out, so we're only left with 1a. We're taking a b squared out, so they're all gone. And now we go to the last one. 3 divided by 3 is 1. We can leave that blank. A squared is being pulled out, and b squared is being pulled out. So that means all of those are gone, so we put a plus 1. And we have these trinomials figured out. So that is your lesson for today, grade 7. I'm available on chat if you have any questions. Make sure you mark your work for lesson 114 and do all of